Hello there my lovely jewelry makers, I'm Christina of CSLdesigns, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make these cute and elegant mermaid's tail wirework rings. And because of how we make it, it also ends up being adjustable and really comfortable to wear. So if you want to learn how you can make one for yourself, then keep watching. So these are the materials that we're going to need. Now I'm using a regular round silver coated copper wire, and the first gauge here is a 0.8mm. This will be our base wire. And then for the weaving wire we'll be using a 0.3mm, so it's a bit of a finer one. We also just need a couple of tools to make this ring. So first of all, I've got some flush cutters so we can cut our wire, some tweezer nose pliers to help manipulate the wire, and then I've got round nose pliers and 6-step bell making pliers just to help with any curves and loops that we need to make. You can of course easily make do with just the round nose pliers. And finally we need a ring mandrel to help size and shape the ring. Now you'll be able to find the full material and tool list down in the description box below, along with any useful links. Otherwise, let's get it all ready and let's get started. So the length of wires that we'll need to cut is first of all two lengths of a 0.8mm here of about 20 centimeters each, and just make sure we don't have any kinks or bends in them. And the 0.3mm here, I'm going to leave that attached to the reel, that way we'll have minimum wastage. What we will do though is we'll start about 30 centimeters in from the end of the wire, so leave that bit of tail before we start weaving the ring band, which is what we're going to start out doing. Now to find out exactly how much we need to weave to fit the size you want, you of course need to figure out what size you want to make the ring. And then on the ring mandrel here, I'm going to take a piece of scrap wire and just going to bring it around the ring mandrel as if I'm using this for the ring band. And then you want to bring them together. And then what you want to do is stop before the wires meet up. So you want to leave a gap basically, because that's what we need for the mermaid tail on both ends. So I like to then bend it up. As you can see, I've left a nice gap there. And then I just remove the ring mandrel and I just straighten this back out. That way I can now use this to measure as I'm making my ring band, so I know when to stop weaving. So I have my own little measuring tool here. You can of course use anything like a piece of scrap cord as well. So I'm going to make sure to keep that handy, and then I'm taking my weaving wire here, remember leaving that 30 centimeter tail, and then that's where we need to start weaving from. And then I'm grabbing my two base wires. Here we also need to leave enough ends to basically make the mermaid tails with. So we need to basically weave our ring band across more or less the middle of these base wires here. So place the weaving wire behind the base wires. You can use one at a time if you need to. And first of all, I'm just going to attach this by wrapping it around a single time, like that. It is now attached to the first one, and we've also started out our weave straight away. I'm going to then place the other base wire on top of the weaving wire and as the new top one. And then we want to just bring the weaving wire over the top of both of them. And then up between the two. And push that down nice and tight there. And then over the top of the top base wire by itself, and then down behind both of them. So this is the first round of our weave. Now I'm doing the diagonal wire weave. It's my personal favorite and I really love using it for ring bands. But of course you can use whatever kind of weave that you want to, that uses two base wires. I do have a whole playlist full of different wire weaves with tutorials, so you can always check that out and maybe find a different one you like. Otherwise we want to keep weaving like this. So that's the second round. And you just want to make sure as you go, you can always use pliers to squeeze your wraps together so it becomes nice and tight. So next round, around the bottom one by itself, over the top of both of them, and then up between the two to go over the top one by itself and all the way around to come back down behind them. And then just make sure the wraps are nice and tight. So just weave the length that you need. And this is where, like I mentioned, I have my little measuring tool that I made. I know I need to make my ring band this long. So I'm just going to keep measuring against this once I get a bit further on to make sure I get the right length. So I'll weave the length that I need now, and I've been comparing it. So you can see I've got just the right length there. So what we need to do now is, because we're done with the weaving on the ring band, we need to cut this off our reel. And I'm just going to use the first tail that we left to measure against, so they get about the same length. So there we go. And then we can just kind of push them out of the way for now, because what we're going to then do is work with the base wires on both ends here, and we're going to actually start creating the mermaid tails now. So first of all, I'm just going to separate them out a little bit, because obviously we're going to kind of have the two parts, one going towards either side, and just try and make them as even as possible. And that is why I like to work on them at the same time, because then it's easier to get them even. And I then just want to get some 6-double making pliers, all round nose pliers, whatever you are using to make your curves and shapes with, and just put a bit more of a curve into these wires on this upper side, and kind of have them start to go back down towards in the direction of the other wires here. So we have something like that. Then I'm going to get my tweezer nose pliers, and we then want to create the point. So obviously you also want to decide how big you want the tails to be, and that's completely up to you. You can make them as small as possible, or you can make them a bit larger and make them stand out more. So place your tweezer nose pliers where you want the very tip of this side of the tail to be. Then I'm going to bend the end of the wire back over the plier, so basically back on itself, like that, and just bend it as far as it'll go. And you're then going to see you have kind of a little gap there where the pliers were, and we want to close that up. So I'm just going to place that bend at the back of my pliers and squeeze it tighter, kind of as if you were making a prong. So basically closing up that gap, as you can see there. And then we need to kind of open the wires back up. So I'm just going to grab onto the wire, but only the bottom layer. So the top layer here can move. And I'm going to push it downwards. So from the front, it looks a little something like that. You can see I'm pushing this top layer after the bend away from the bottom layer, and I'm pushing it downwards. You can also use your pliers whenever you need to help move any wires. And by making this bend at the tip, it creates much more of a sharper point there and gives a little bit more of that tail effect. And then we just want to bring this length of wire that we just separated out back in over the ring band, and making sure that we end up with a curve on this side as well, as equivalent to the top one as possible. So we end up with something a bit like that, and of course you can adjust it however you need to. And I'm making sure here the wire that's crossing over the ring band to the other side is basically crossing at the end of the weave, but this is then one side. What I then like to do, like I said, is do the other side straight away to make them as symmetrical as possible. So I kind of use my pliers here to help measure as well, because obviously I want them to be as similar as possible. So basically the beginning part of this fin is where the weave ends. I'm going to then just place my one end of the plier there, and then the other end at the very tip. So I know that the other one needs to be this long. So I keep that in the position, place my pliers in the same way on the other side. So I know where I need to place my pliers. This is obviously just the way that I like to do it. You can easily do it in another way. Then you place the pliers, and the same thing, we then need to bend the end of that wire over the top, all the way back on itself, so we get that gap again. And then we need to close that up, just like we did on the other side. And from there, we need to then just open them up again. So we bring that top wire downwards, and other wires back over the other end, back out towards the other side, again over the ring band. And then you just need to make any adjustments so they end up as similar as possible. And there basically we have the two fins that create the one tail on one end here ready to go. And of course you then just need to flip it around and do the same thing on the other end as well. So now I shaped both ends. Then what we need to do is start weaving and filling them in. So this is why we left the tail in the beginning and also at the end. Now of course that will only cover one on each side, but we're just going to start with them. So I'm just going to start with one side, it doesn't matter which one. Now I'm going to bring my weaving wire, so that's already attached here, and then we need to start filling in this shape. So like I said, right now I'm just focusing on this top one, and we need to do that by using the figure of 8 weave. So I'm coming around the bottom of this side, so the bottom wire here. So the bottom side of the fin kind of acts as the bottom base wire, and the top side acts as a top base wire. So we have two that we're wrapping around. So I'm going to do that once, and then down through again. So that's twice. Not get tangled up in the other wires here. Pull that through and make sure to push it all the way down. Again, you can get a little bit further in with some pliers. Now what we're going to do to make it the figure of 8 weave is cross underneath the top base wire and then do 2 wraps around that. So again, we come down through the shape and pull our weaving wire through. Make sure to push it all the way down and do that a second time. So bring it through the shape and push it down. And that was 2 on the top side, so now we need to cross the bottom side again. Come down through the shape to wrap around twice on the bottom side. And this is how we're going to fill it in. So you're going to start to see the weave grow further and further up towards the point. So now that I reached the widest point of the fin here, what you're going to see is that the wire is going to naturally want to slip down towards the narrow point as you're weaving, and obviously that would help make the weave not tight at all. So to try and get the weave as tight as possible, what I'm going to do to counteract the fact that wire wants to slip to the narrow point is my next wrap here on the other side. As I'm then tightening this wire, I'm going to make sure I hold down or push down the previous wraps that I just did, while I'm then also pushing down the current one as I'm tightening it. Of course, just do the second one and do the same thing. So tighten that, and then as I'm swapping to the other side, as you can see, that's where the wire would kind of want to slip down. So what I'm going to do is then also hold this side down that I just did and push it tight towards the other wraps, while I'm then tightening the new wraps on the opposite side. Like that, and repeat. And that is how you make sure to keep having the weave as tight as possible. And then you just want to continue weaving here until you basically have no more space left, so you're not able to weave anymore. Now reach as far to the tip as I can. Then what we're going to do is cut off the excess length of the wire, because obviously we have no more space to weave now. And then you just want to tuck in the end so it's not sticking out, because you don't want it to catch or scratch on anything. So just make sure to feel it with your fingers so you can't feel any end of the wire there. And once it's nice and secure, then what I'm going to do is take the base wire that's coming from this fin here and basically start to bring it around back towards the fin and over the top of itself, so it starts to lay across like this. And just bring it around so we kind of get a little teardrop shape down here. And then I'm just going to leave it there for now, because now it's also out of the way, so that gives us access to the other side of this tail. But for now, I'm just going to flip it around, and because we have this weaving wire attached on the other end, I'm just going to use that first. So do the same thing, fill this fin in first, bring the base wire back over the top of itself so that frees up the other side, and then you just want to cut 2 more lengths of our weaving wire and just cut them about the same length that we had the tails here, because obviously it's the same space that we need to fill in, and you just attach a new weaving wire to fill in the remaining 2 fins there on either side. So now I've filled in all 4 here, and I've got my base wires also in position. All we need to do really is finish those off now. So this is where I'm going to use my round nose pliers, because we're going to end up making a loop on the ends, and I want the loop to be pretty small. So just on one of them here, I'm going to place my pliers just a little bit out from where that first curve is, and just grab it onto your wire, and then just bring the length around the pliers until we get pretty much a full circle. You can see we have that there. Now this is a bit too big still, so I'm just basically going to put my pliers into it and then just roll it to make it smaller, and also get it right in the position where I want it to sit. You can also tighten it up a bit with your pliers, kind of just squeezing it together gently until you get it just the right size. And then we can go in and cut off the excess, and I want to cut it basically where it starts to overlap itself. And then you want to just flatten it down, and you end up with the end of the wire basically going against the side of itself, so that finishes it off nicely. So it shouldn't catch or scratch on anything. And then we can just flatten it down against the fin as well. So basically we've added a little bit of decoration on top of the fin that adds to the design, but also at the same time finishes off the wire nicely. So you just want to repeat the same with the remaining 3. And now all there's left to do is shape it so we can of course wear it. So you get your ring mandrel and then just put the piece here against it, obviously with the back towards the mandrel, and then start to bring the ends around to the point where they then kind of meet up here. Now it's up to you how you want these to sit. So you could either have them so they're sitting straight across from each other like that and kind of create a nice little design, or you could have them so they're sitting and kind of interlocking with each other and give a little bit of a different look like that. So it's completely up to you of course, and otherwise you have your ring finished and ready to wear. So we then have this really nice mermaid tail design, and because the ends are open and not attached to each other, that also makes it adjustable and more comfortable to wear as well. And like I said, it's completely up to you how you want your design to be. So this is just one of a few mermaid tail designs that I have. So I'm going to leave a link in the description box down below to a playlist with all of them, so you can actually make a full set now. And of course also feel free to check out my channel for loads of other tutorials within many different mediums. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.